Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Monday evening. Hope you had a lovely weekend and you're looking forward to a nice week ahead as we enter into the month of June. We're truly coming into summertime. So our theme today is kind. So let us be kind to ourselves and exude kindness to others. We'll kind of dip in and out of that throughout our practice today. And as always, listen to your body and only do what feels right for you today. Let us begin by lying down. Making yourself nice and comfortable on your mat. Just letting the feet flop out to the side. Relaxing the body, allowing it to soften. And slowing down the mind. Just drawing it into the present moment. Letting go of everything that's going on in your life today. And just being in the here and now. Let your attention go to your sense of sight. Keeping your eyes closed, just look at the back of your eyelids and notice what it presents to you. Any colors you can see, shapes or movement. And then placing your hands over your eyes, nice and gently. Noticing how that changes what's presented to you. Focusing on that. Notice how that feels to have the eyes gently covered. And then, in your own time, letting the hands come down away from your eyes. And once again, just seeing how that changes things. And now letting that attention go to your breath. Just placing your hands either side of your navel area. So you're making a kind of a triangle around your navel area. And inhaling, feeling the belly rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Directing your breath to the diaphragm breathing, which is like a long, deep breath. It goes a long ways inside your body, and that's what raises and releases the belly. And then placing your hands either side of your rib cage. Let's just change your breath a little bit to inhale, widening the rib cage as you inhale and exhale. So that your breath is now being operated more by the muscles around your rib cage than your diaphragm. They're playing a much bigger role. And then moving one hand just onto your chest. And taking little small breaths here at the top of your chest. Shallow little breaths that don't reach down into your body. Those are the three basic modes of breathing, and we're going to just combine them into that complete yogic breath. So what we're going to do is inhale half of our breath into our belly, then about 40% to our rib cage, and the last 10% into our chest before releasing it. So when you're ready, beginning the inhale into your belly, then rib cage, then chest, and release. And again, belly, on into the rib cage, then into the chest, and release. One more breath. Half of it into the belly, 40% to the rib cage, 10% to the chest, and release. That nice yogic breath, just helping to segment the breath and hopefully bring you a little bit more understanding of your different types of breathing. And then when you're ready, bending your knees, let the hands come down by your sides. And just rolling over onto your side, coming up to sit. And if you like, you can pop yourself up onto a block or sit on the mat, whichever you prefer. If you're on a block, sitting at the edge of the block, nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, lengthening through the spine here. Closing the eyes, placing the hand on the belly once again as you just inhale into the belly, through the nose, and then exhaling either through the nose or the mouth, whichever you prefer. But each inhale into the belly. And see, can you just get your exhale to be longer than your inhale? You can do that by counting to yourself or just by observing your breath and knowing that you're maximizing the exhale. And taking a little pause between the inhale and the exhale. Two more breaths like this. And now we're going to take a twist to the left. So just turning the body from the belly button towards the left, then letting your hand on your leg just act as a lever to help you. I'm going to take 3 breaths here, but again, inhaling. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine, pausing, and then as you exhale, a nice long exhale, and see, can you deepen the twist by 1 millimeter. 2 more breaths here. And then drawing your body back to the center. Let the right leg come out long and step the left leg across the right leg. So we're going to flex the toes of that right leg and then using the elbow this time to again have a little lever. This is going to help to stretch the outside of this left leg as we also take a twist. So again, up tall, inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhaling, deepening the twist. And then making your way back to the center, letting both legs come out long. And from here, we're going to forward fold over the legs. So you might want to bend the knees a little as you hinge forward, letting your lower rib cage come in contact with your thighs. And then you might want to let those legs just move out a little further, as again you connect with your breath. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, deepen. Hi, sorry for interrupting your practice. I hope you're enjoying it. If you do like it, we'd love you to become one of our yogis here on Love Doing Yoga. And to do that, all you need to do is click on the link below. We send you 3 practices every single week for you to do at a time that suits you. And it's just €5 a month. So we'd love to see you join us on the mat again soon. Namaste. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly making your way back up to sit. Once again, just turning the body towards the left, this time placing the hands down. If you're on a block, you might want to pop off it for this. Hands down, almost diagonally across from your hip. And then allowing the body to just lower down towards the mat. So try to keep your right cheek as close to the mat as you can. It'll rise up a little bit, but we don't want to be completely leaning over like this. Keeping it as close to the mat as you can as you just lower the body down towards the mat. 2 more breaths. And then drawing yourself up. And again, crossing the legs. If you remember which foot you had in front the first time, just see if you can do it the opposite way. If you're not sure which foot you had in front, you probably always have the same foot in front with your legs crossed. So go with what feels slightly uncomfortable. And again, let's take the twist to the right this time. Connecting in with the breath. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, deepen. One more breath. And letting the body come back to the center, allowing it to settle in the center as you step the left leg out and cross the right leg over. And again, using that left arm as a lever, and once more coming into your twist. Keeping that left foot flexed. With each exhale, just getting a little deeper. Allowing that exhale to be longer than the inhale to help you with the pose. One more breath. And once again, letting the body come back to the center. Let both legs come out long. Bend the knees slightly as you fold forward. Hands onto the floor, and then beginning to lower yourself and letting the legs begin to lengthen. Once more, connecting with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen. And in the theme of kindness, let that inner voice say something nice to you. Notice how well you're doing the pose. Find a good point about it and focus on that. One more breath here. And then drawing yourself up. Once more, connecting in, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, before we then take a turn towards the right this time. And just allow the body to begin to make its way towards the mat, but keeping that left cheek connected with the mat. One more breath here. And then making your way up to sit once more. This time, open the legs out nice and wide as they will go. Toes once again pointing upwards towards the ceiling. Starting off, sitting up tall, equal weight on both seat bones. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, length in the spine. And once again, we're going to fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Fold forward. And when you get to where you feel is your maximum point, let's just stop here. Stretch your hands out as far as they can go from here. Notice where they are, so just take a look up. Notice where your hands are. And now closing your eyes, inhale through your nose, lengthening the spine. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Nice long exhale, and just encourage that fold to go a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen, hold, and exhale, deepen. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, deepen. One more. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, deepen. And then before you come up, just looking up at your hands, notice how far they've traveled just with your breath, helping you to get a little bit deeper into the pose. And then slowly congratulate yourself, be kind to yourself, and walk the hands back to sit up tall. And let's swing around and come onto all fours. Having those feet straight behind you, hips over knees, shoulders over wrists, and just having the index fingers parallel to each other, opening the fingers out nice and wide as we do a couple of cat-cows here. Just focusing on moving with your breath Inhaling into your cow and exhaling through to your cat. Three more breaths here, really connecting that breath with your movement. And when you're ready, coming back into your neutral spine, gaze on the mat. And let's step that right leg back as far as it can go, and then lift it up to hip height. And lifting the left hand up, pointing it away. Engaging the core by lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And let's take 3 breaths here. Keeping a softness in the elbow. And then letting that right leg and left hand down. Let's take it to the other side. So left leg comes up, toes pointing down towards the mat. Lifting up the right hand, keeping a softness in that left elbow. One more breath here. Engaging the core to help you with the stillness and the balance. And bringing the hand down and the leg down. And push back into a child's resting pose. And just let the body release. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, coming up to kneel. If this is comfortable for you, great, kneel like this. If this isn't comfortable for you, kneel like this. So whichever one suits you best. If your knees are a little bit sore, a bit tender, you can always put a little blanket or rug underneath to just give them a softer place to be. So whichever way you are, again, focusing on your alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, taking a breath. And then raising your arms up so they run past your ears. Let's take a breath. Coming on to all fours, taking a breath. Walk the hands forward an inch or two, and then lifting up into a downward dog and pedaling your way into it. Nice and slowly.
As you're pedaling with your legs, just check in with the rest of your body. Spine is nice and long. Pushing your pelvis towards the back of the mat. Gaze towards the belly button. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Engaging the core by lifting that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And when you're ready, coming to stillness here. One more breath. And with your right hand, just let it come towards your left foot, looking underneath your left arm. One more breath here. And putting the right hand back. Let's just take that to the other side. And bringing the hand back. And then walking the feet up to meet the hands and coming to the top of your mat. Bending your knees, coming up to stand. Checking in with your feet here. They're in a nice straight line. Hip width apart. Standing up nice and tall, just beginning to engage the whole body. Press the toes into the mat. Feeling the front of your legs start to engage, pressing the heels into the mat. So your whole foot is firmly planted and pressed into the floor, feeling an engagement move up through your legs with that activation. Drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Draw the arms up over the head, past the ears, palms together. Raise the gaze. Take a breath. Sweeping the arms out to the side, coming into a forward fold. Keep the legs active, but have a little micro bend in the knees, or a bigger bend if you like. But if you're hypermobile, always have a little micro bend there. And then lengthening the spine. And forward fold once again. And let's run through a full sun salute. So right leg back into your low lunge. And through to your plank. And then coming down on your knees and feet. Chest and belly. And with very light hands, drawing the chest and the forehead away from the floor. Then activating the hands to push yourself on up through your tabletop. Adjust those hands as you need to. And lift up into your downward dog. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And stretching that right leg out behind you and step it through to wherever it will go, helping it the rest of the way to come into your low lunge. And then through to a forward fold. Bending the knees. Coming all the way up, palms together, raise the gaze, engage the whole body
from the feet up through the legs, through the core. One more breath here. And sweeping the arms out to the side, forward fold. Soften the body in your forward fold. Halfway lift or lengthen the spine, your choice. And forward fold again, stepping the left leg back this time for your low lunge. And then through to your plank. Coming down on your knees, feet, chest and belly, and into your little back bend. Pushing on up through tabletop. And curling the toes, lift up into your downward dog. 2 more breaths here, checking in on your alignment. Hip towards the back of the mat. Gaze towards the belly button, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then stretching the left leg back and stepping it up to the top of the mat to come into your low lunge. And through to your forward fold. Bending the knees, coming all the way up to stand, bringing the hands into prayer at the chest. Well done. Say something kind to yourself. And let's take it to the long side of the mat, stepping the feet out nice and wide, about 3 or 4 hip widths apart, toes pointing towards the front. And we're going to hinge at the hips to come into our forward fold. So softening the knees as you bend forward. Letting the hands come down onto the mat. You can encourage the hands to just walk towards the back of the mat as you deepen this fold. Taking 2 more breaths with each breath, lengthening the spine, deepening the fold. Then staying in this forward fold, just draw the hands up behind you, clasping the fingers together, and let them fall away from your back, just encouraging that fold to go even deeper. One more breath here. Then releasing the hands. Let them come back down onto the mat. Swiveling on that right foot so it turns to the front. Turn your body to the front, swiveling on the left foot. Step it across. And then bending that left knee to come down. So your right leg is in front and we're coming into a low lunge. But this time just challenge yourself a little bit by stepping that left knee back a smidgen. And then raising the arms up. Let's take 3 breaths here. With your exhale, say something kind to yourself.
Folding forward, frame the foot, the right foot, and just come up onto the toes of that left foot. So we're in runner's lunge, and you might want to come up onto your fingertips here, keeping this right knee bent so it's over the ankle, looking in front of you, lengthening from the crown of your head all the way to the... Hi there, sorry for interrupting your practice, and I hope you're enjoying it. This is just to say, if you are enjoying it, please do subscribe to our Love Doing Yoga channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends. Love to see you on the mat again soon. Namaste. Heel, the left heel. One more breath here. Step the right hand inside that right foot and heel toe that right foot across to the outside edge of the mat. And then from here, you've got lots of choices. Stay like this, maybe come down onto one forearm or both. If it's a bit too much on the left leg, you can always let the knee come down onto the mat. But wherever you are in this, let's take 2 more breaths. And then lifting up onto your hands, hop that back foot forward until it can sit fully on the mat, flat on the mat. And lifting up, so we still want this right knee over the right ankle, squaring the hips, which will just accentuate that stretch in the back leg. Raising the arms up past your ears. Soften the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Focus on the breath. Three more breaths here. Saying a kind word to yourself as you exhale. Bringing the hands down onto the hips. Let's step this left foot up to the top of the mat and bring both feet together. So the toes are touching, the heels are a little bit apart. And come down into your chair pose, just watching that these knees haven't crept in front of your toes. As you raise the arms up, engaging the core by lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. One more breath here. And then hinging at the hips, let the hands come down onto the mat as you then begin to bring a little straightness into the legs, working with your body, whatever works for you. If you're hyper mobile, just keep a gentle softness in the knees so they're not locking. Letting your breath help you here to reach deeper. One more breath. And then let's step the right leg back and a little bit over to the right, dropping the knee Open the foot and lifting up to your low lunge on this side. Softening the shoulders, releasing the jaw, engaging the core. One more breath. And then coming through to your runner's pose. So framing this left foot, taking the right knee up off the mat. Nice long space between the right heel and the crown of your head. A lovely long diagonal line running there. Focusing on your breath. And giving yourself words of kindness. One more breath. Bringing that left hand inside the left foot, heel toeing that left foot out towards the edge of the mat. And again, choosing what you want to do here, staying up on the hands or coming down onto one or both forearms. One more breath. Coming back up onto your hands, heel toeing that foot, left foot inwards slightly, and then hopping the right foot up until you can get it flat on the mat, keeping the bend in that left leg as you rise up to your warrior one. Arms running past the ears, squaring up the hips. Softening the shoulders, softening the jaw, and softening that internal voice. And one more breath. Bringing the hands onto the hips as we step that right foot up to meet the left, toes together, heels apart, into your chair pose, raising the arms up. Two more breaths here. Let the core help you in this pose, lifting the pelvic floor, belly button in and up. And then sweeping down into your forward fold, encouraging a little bit more length in the legs. One more breath. And then making your way down into a child's pose for a little rest. Two more breaths here. And when you're ready, coming up onto all fours and stepping up to stand.
Good. From here, we're going to step the right leg back. And just let me turn around the other way. And line up the heels. So they're in a straight line with each other, bending this left knee so it's over your ankle. Bringing the arms into a T, soften the shoulders. Turn the gaze to the front, over the left fingers. One more breath here. Then let's reach out and come into a triangle, windmilling down, keeping this left leg bent or straighten it, whichever you prefer. Gaze and chest looking upwards. One more breath. And then letting this right hand come down as you just turn the body to bend over that left leg and just swivel on the right foot so it turns more towards the front as you fold over this left leg. Softening the shoulders, softening the jaw, and saying a kind word to yourself. One more breath. And then bending that left knee over the left ankle, lifting up, turning both feet to the long side of the mat, and then just swivel on the right heel and turn the left foot inwards slightly. So again, our heels are in line with each other, bending this right knee over the right ankle and arms in a T. Softening the shoulders, softening the jaw. Checking in with the torso that it's in the center of the body and not slightly forward. And gazing out over the right hand. One more breath here. Then reaching forward with that right hand and windmilling into your triangle. Gaze and chest looking up towards the ceiling. If you want to begin to straighten that right leg too. Two more breaths here. And then framing this right foot, just adjusting the feet so you feel a little more comfortable as you fold forward over this right leg. Two more breaths. And then stepping that left foot up to meet the right, bending the knees, coming all the way up to stand, raising the arms over the head, and then bringing them into prayer in front of the chest, taking a breath. Then forward fold.
And let's step back into a plank. Shoulders over wrists, little micro bend in the elbows. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then bringing the knees down onto the mat and pushing back into a child's pose. Your version. Two more breaths here. And once again, coming back into a plank, this time coming onto the side of that right foot. Step the left foot into the center of your body and raise that left hand up so the fingers are pointing to the ceiling. So we want a nice straight line from one hand to the other, keeping the right hip up away from the mat and a little micro bend in that right elbow. One more breath here. And then bringing the hand down, stepping back into your plank and take it to the other side. So turning on to the side of that left foot, right foot coming into the center of the body and lifting that right hand up. One more breath here. Then bringing the right hand down, coming back into your plank and down onto your knees. And this time swinging around to come and lie on your back. With your knees bent and your feet shoulder width apart, let's just lift up into a bridge to counteract that last pose. Two more breaths here. And then slowly lowering yourself down onto the mat and hugging those knees into the chest. Take a little bit of movement. And don't forget, if you're doing our May challenge, to let us know. Anytime you complete a practice, just give us a thumbs up or a message to say you've completed it. And everyone who completes 4 practices this month gets on to our Roll of Honor. And when you're ready, letting those feet come down onto the mat, let the legs come out long and the palms face upwards as you totally relax and let go. And we'll, in the theme of kindness, be extra kind to ourselves today by doing a really nice deep relaxation. So I'm going to name areas of your body, and as I do, just focus on that area. Maybe breathe into that point or repeat it in your head.
And then we'll move on to the next. The point between your eyebrows. The hollow of your throat. Your right shoulder joint. Right elbow. Right wrist. The tip of your right thumb. Tip of your right index finger. Tip of your right middle finger. Tip of your right fourth finger. Tip of your right little finger. Right wrist. Right elbow. Right shoulder. Hollow of the throat. Left shoulder joint. Left elbow. Left wrist. Tip of the left thumb. Tip of the left index finger. Tip of the left middle finger. Tip of the left fourth finger. Tip of the left little finger. Left wrist. Left elbow. Left shoulder joint. Hollow of the throat. Base of the sternum. Navel area. Base of the spine. Right hip joint. Right knee joint. Right ankle joint. Tip of the right big toe. Tip of the right second toe. Tip of the right third toe. Tip of the right fourth toe. Tip of the right little toe. Right ankle.
right knee, right hip, base of the spine, left hip, left knee, left ankle, tip of the left big toe, tip of the left second toe, tip of the left third toe, tip of the left fourth toe, tip of the left little toe. Left ankle, left knee, left hip, base of the spine, navel area, base of the sternum, hollow of the throat, point between the eyebrows.